And we are live.
What up, what up?
Yay! Welcome to another installment of Petty Party. The Venus Revolution presents Petty Party.
So can you start and tell us exactly, because I know you said in the last video you're going to tell us what the Venus Revolution is.
Yes, I was going to ask that.
Who that girl is and how she got started. So can you start that?
The Venus Revolution began as a living homage to the Hottentot Venus, Sarah Sarche Bartman, a Black woman from Cape Town, I believe, South Africa, who was a servant to a Black man, well, he was considered colored, and a disgraced English doctor who was broke. Both of them were broke. They needed money. This doctor convinced her that if she came with him to England, she'd be a hit, she'd be a sensation. So she began to display herself in Piccadilly Circus. And the reason that she was called the Hottentot Venus is because of her magnificent ass.
Her assets.
Yes, that was it. And there's a real name for that. I'll get into it a little bit more as we move along, but there's a name for it. It's called steatopegia. It is an African thing. That's excess adipose tissue on your hips, your buttocks, your thighs, and your stomach, which is what gives us those curves, you know. But she hello Sharon, hello Larry girl. She was a star, if you will, in Piccadilly Circus, and she was treated like her act was that she would come out of a cage being led like a wild animal by her handler, and she would lunge and do some things, and then at the end of the show, people would violate her by touching her ass, pinching it, you know, taking it through a bunch of changes like that. So even then, Black women were considered to be less than. She was not called, hi Kesha. She wasn't called the Hottentot Venus because they thought she was pretty. It was pretty much a tongue-in-cheek situation. When she died, the doctors did not care how she died because her trainer or her handler had allowed many of the doctors and the brilliant medical minds of that day examine her because they thought that she was, or we are, the missing link between ape and man. Excuse me, Altoid. So when she died, they didn't think about why she died. They cut her body up and put various pieces of her in jars, including her vaginal area, because she was a Khoi woman, and the Khoi women had minora labia that extended beyond the majora labia. And that began the myth of Black women having these insatiable sexual appetites. And she would never have known in all her time. I mean, she was paraded around aristocracy. She arrived in Britain when they had stopped trading. They were, slave trade was outlawed. Some of the good church children came to see her to ask her if she was there at her own will. Of course, she didn't understand the language. And the guy that brought her there was always sitting there. So she was a victim without even knowing she was a victim. I mean, it was a big stink. They went to court. It was a real big stink. So when I have some notes in front of me, I'll explain it in much better detail, but I'll end it by saying, she never thought that she would be a fashion icon because the ladies in Europe began to wear bustles so that their dresses would stick out in the back. And they began to get these hoop skirts with the really wide hips so that they had that figure. So that is a short story of Sarah Sarche Bartman, the Hottentot Venus. So we began the organization for that, where we really did look for Black women of a certain build, and we had a big art show where we only photographed the back and the profile of these ladies. You never saw their faces. It was beautiful work. The photography was stunning. And I got involved in 2006 because of my lusciousness. And I've been involved ever since, because we really wanted to challenge the standard concept of beauty, the European standard of beauty in this country and around the world, really. You know, we wanted to challenge that and say, look, you're having surgery to get what we have naturally, and yet we're not honored necessarily for being beautiful women, you know? So that's so,
you know.
To be part of this Venus revolution,
yeah.
you need to be voluptuous. Well,
yes,
you don't want to be, but it would help, right?
It would help.
I've never gotten that part. See, I always wanted the big video girl booty, and I never got one. I always got the long back syndrome. That's all.
I have 4 asses, and none of them are cute. They all sit in different pockets. I got an extra ass. Right. Side note: I went to Walmart in DC today. If you've ever, first of all, Walmart experience, and then to go to Walmart in DC.
Walmart anywhere, really.
But Walmart in DC on H Street, yeah. So gentrification my ass. So I was in Walmart and I passed by the mirror and I looked at myself and I patted my fat. I was like, oh, I need to work on this. Did you know people don't take too kindly to that when you do that in public, even if you're shaming yourself?
Did you get the after school special?
Yeah,
don't feel bad for yourself.
Right. Then this old Black man behind me, well, why does it sound like that when you slap it? Well, bitch, get because I'm fat.
Because I got collard greens and
yeah,
I got collard greens, freaking Jack Daniels and freaking cookies in my gut. That's why it sounds like that. And let me do me. If I want to fat shame my fat ass, let me fat shame my fat ass. I'm not talking about you and your starch jeans and these. Okay. Anyway.
Well, to somebody, that ass is the bomb diggity. We're going to do
I got long back.
First of all, this is for entertainment purposes only. We're here to have fun, so it's all right to be petty. If you have sensitive ears, you need to move on, because some bitches might drop, some trucks might drop. You know, some of those things will most assuredly drop.
Because
Johnny,
here's my thing.
Johnny, I want to hear about your long back. So you said you got a long back.
That's all it is. I can't twerk. I can't do none of that. I didn't get them. I didn't get that rhythm that Black people are supposed to have. I didn't get that. I didn't get the big collard green booty. I didn't get that either. What I got was a big ass stomach, but then none of it went to the back of me. It all went to the front. This sits up by itself. If I was gonna be transgender, I'm halfway there, because it's
all you need is a push-up bra.
They sit up by themselves. They won't say, "I don't get saggy man boob." They sit up.
Open up though, because my friend Neil, I will never forget this story. So we were driving over. We're going to lunch one day. We're driving over some speed bumps. Neil is like this big, like disgustingly skinny, and he's like, I used to not be this little. I said, well, what, you used to be a big girl? He's like, I was a real big girl. I was like, well, what happened, Neil? What was, because everybody who's lost a lot of weight had that moment where, like, I can't do this anymore, this is my fucking moment. He said his fucking moment was when he was driving his boss through the work parking lot and they hit the speed bump and his titties hit him in front of his boss. And he said that's when
that's it.
He said basically he was like, I went anorexic. He's like, I know that's unhealthy. He's like, I have better eating habits now. He's like, but when your titties hit you and your kid, your boss, in the motherfucking work parking lot, he's like, no.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh yeah!
I just let them be now. They're part of the kit. So I mean, hell.
They embrace them.
I used to be being pole skinny when I was a kid, and then hormones like ravaged my whole body, and so I got stretch marks everywhere except back here. But up here, they just boom, they just popped out. I'm like,
well, those are kind of titties women buy.
Come on,
I'm gonna stand up because they're certainly responding to gravity.
I'm about to say something real foul on your channel, Jace, and I apologize now. And again, and I know we went through every time. And if this is the last time I'm on your show, I understand.
I want us to have some fun because this has been a tough week.
It's been a tough week. So.
But I keep hearkening back to what you said in your last video. We need to laugh because ain't shit funny.
Ain't shit funny. This has been a real tough week.
I'm about to do one more kiki giggle and then we can get into the real shit. So saggy titty syndrome, STS, runs in my family.
They're not really, well.
It does. So I love the women in my family, so at the age of 20, I decided to start a piggy bank to get my titty lift fund. So I still have that piggy bank, it's called Adrian's Titty Lift Fund. And I want them so high when I wake up in the morning, I just have to do this and I can lift my When the doctor's like, well, Miss Coleman, how high do you want them? I'm like, right here. And that's
I certainly want to meet some new ones. I'm not kidding because I got all of my pulchritude when I was a kid. I spent the babysitters were teenagers and their dresses and blouses poked out in the front and the back. So I asked God to when I got big, to bless me with titties that would poke out in the front and ass that would poke out in the back. And this is truly answered prayer. If there's a such thing as being overly blessed.
Amen.
I had, there was one entertainer used to call me Booty Molati. You got the biggest ass in Southern California.
Can we start with some pop culture since we're talking about titties and ass?
Sure.
So the unsurprising news of the century, we'll go from the unsurprising news of the century to the most surprising news of the century, RBG. But let's start with the unsurprising news. So Cardi B, who is, I have always claimed, the modern day Charo. Y'all remember Charo?
Oh, yes.
That's all she is. She's just a modern day Charo. Not a whole bunch of talent, but, everybody knows her. She's got the look. Yeah. So she and that thing from that group. I'm sorry. Let me not be rude. I almost called that man Dusty Rose. That is not Quavo. The other one.
Offset.
Thank you. Offset from the Migos. She finally filed for divorce. Irreconcilable differences. There's no way in hell we're getting back together. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not surprised. Anybody else?
Here's my thing. First of all, I don't get her. Like, I'm not trying to hate because I know people love them some Cardi B, but I don't get it. I don't get the appeal. She don't sound intelligent. I don't get the whole thing.
Nope.
But her saying back in the day that she would forgive his indiscretions because he slept with everybody but her. It's like, what is it now? That is the straw that broke the camel back, because this camel been laying on the fucking floor for how long now?
The straw that there was no straw. She got what she needed from him, and she's moved on. Her career.
Which is what
she was doing. Okay, and keep in mind, I just studied the pop culture. I'm not a fan of any of these people. I just watched the comments.
Didn't she get a bigger push than he did?
She did. And so she's now carrying his dead weight. He was carrying her for a little while.
Yeah, but he's not done anything musically, has he? He's just been
not in a long time. She's carrying him. So she's like, yeah, I'm out. Okay, I got what I needed. I'm bigger than life now. So done. That's what
the last time I heard of him was when he was feuding with Joe Budden, or when they were all feuding with Joe Budden. That's the last time I ever heard
anything.
of Offset.
And then, no, but he's got that lawsuit because there's that chick that says she's pregnant.
Oh God. Is he going to be future junior, have 19 kids and counting?
None of whom you can take care of because you're using Cardi's money. She's the
And public service announcement. I don't mean to be, actually I do mean to be this way.
Go ahead.
Don't apologize. You're safe here.
Because I have all what I call my kids, my sister kids, but I've raised them too. I have told them all this. Don't go get pregnant by some fuck boy.
Yep.
Like, I get it that you might want a baby, you want the fairy tale, whatever. But find somebody
with a job first
worth looking for.
Yep.
Don't go find some fuck boy. Don't go find some little boy that ain't gonna do nothing with his life ever except make babies.
Yep.
And that's my public service in that. Please look a little harder.
Yeah, and a lot of youngsters seem to think that if they get pregnant, they're gonna keep a man. That's when they
don't keep the wrong one.
Right.
Let him off the leash. Let him roam the neighborhood and find somebody else to lay up with. But not
exactly. You. Don't do it. Don't do it to yourself.
Care about yourself a little bit more than that.
I'm trying to figure out how to create.
You can't do it in StreamYard. You got to do it in YouTube.
You got to do it. And Jace, honestly, you've got me, Johnny, Larry, girl, and you got one other person. I think you're good for right now.
You can do it. I'll tell you how to do it.
Okay, very good. All right. I don't know how
you're good.
Okay. Yeah, I thought that, the only time I liked Cardi B is when she did that tune with Peter Rodriguez, aka Mars. That was song to me, but I liked the music because genuine soul music that he was singing. That was some pretty music. So they put her on auto tune.
To
you could say,
hey,
25, 35 Apple.
But can we go here? This is off topic.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Bruno Mars, is that who you're talking about, right?
That girl.
He got some flack for cultural appropriation.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something.
What's the guidelines?
Let me tell you something about people in Hawaii. I knew Bruno when he was playing little Elvis. I knew his mother, and they had an act in Don Ho's building on the lower level. Hawaiians love Black music, and the true Hawaiian, not the one that the little skinny little girls doing a hula. The true Hawaiians are big, thick, with hair, and they use more Afro sheen than we do. The true elites were not little people. They're big, and when you see a big girl do a hula, it's really very, very beautiful. It's very beautiful. So no, he is a jigger. That's why he's getting hair rolled up and driving a Cadillac.
I can understand you say, what's the white dude name? Justin Timberlake. I can see you say he's cultural appropriation. Okay, fine. Y'all let him in, so don't dog him out now. I wasn't ever. I'm team Demeter Joe, so let's not even go there. But this child here, like, who makes the guidelines? Who's to say you're not Black enough?
Yeah.
You don't have dark charcoal skin. Like, why all of a sudden, if you look like a Bruno Mars, you can't be considered in the culture?
And if you really knew his heart, when Hawaiians, my friends who were coming over to what they call the mainland from the island, the mainland United States, people thought they were Black, so they hung out with the brothers. They didn't have a problem with it because they felt at home with Black people. So if you really know their hearts, they're not attempting to mimic, they're not attempting to copy. They are actually honoring. You hear so much soul music, and I mean like from my daddy and mama's time soul music, old Motown, and it's very Black on the island, okay? The people love the music and the culture. And so I don't know why they're attacking Bruno. That's who he hangs out with. That's who he is. Jeez, Pizzoliti. Could we fight about something else? I don't know who sets the rules, Johnny.
It just sounds so. I get it, because from the beginning, the whole Little Richard syndrome, where he did all the work and y'all took all the credit. I get it.
Right.
That people come in, they swoop in, they take our culture, and next thing you know, it's theirs, and they make all the money. I get it, but people like him, I think you can let it go. I think you can calm down off that cultural appropriation.
Not to mention, he's always paid homage to everybody that has influenced him. He's the first one to say, "Yo, I'm not new to this. Is not my shit." I give props too in the whole. He's always, and that's why, other than him being a talented little fucking leprechaun, that's why I let it go, because I'm just like, he's never tried, like a Justin, he never tried to front and say, this is my shit, this is this. No, he's like, no, I've been lucky. I've had great mentors.
Yes.
But this is another thing too. I want to say this because this bothers me actually. With this trying to be black, first of all, is not a personality trait.
Exactly.
We don't all wear big giant medallions and gold teeth, and all. That's not a culture. That's your individual taste.
Yeah.
And so this whole thing of you trying to be black, what is that? I get what you're trying to say, that this person's trying to be ethnic. They're trying to be ghetto. But all black people are not like that. You go to Walmart, people of Walmart.com, and tell me how many white people you see. Is that indicative of white culture? No, it's not.
Exactly.
So how about we don't try to make big, giant, oversized medallions and gold teeth and pit bull puppies part of black culture?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to laugh. I'm sorry. Because one of my damn sisters is trying to get a pit bull puppy.
I'm like, getting them.
Oh God!
But okay,
pit bulls are sweet.
I love it, but it's just
dogs, period. I really do love dogs, and a puppy isn't inherently an evil creature coming here. I can't stand the way some people treat animals. They shouldn't have them, if you're not going to be loving and kind to them.
You bring a pit bull in this house, and both of y'all got to get out.
And I'm going to be, Johnny, he's going to be locked in his bathroom.
And be like, you got that dog out of my house yet?
GTFO.
Well, before we go any further, we really do have to acknowledge the passing of a great, great warrior.
Yes.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. We really have to raise a glass to her. She had a whole lot of fire in that little bitty body. She fought valiantly with cancer, trying to eat her up. She was still working, and according to a friend of hers who works on NPR, who was with her before she passed, she said she was still feisty right up until she went to sleep, right up until she decided to go. So I just want to say, Ruth, we will miss you, but your work will stand, and we will continue the good fight. You joined Representative John Lewis and all the angels that stood for justice and equality and mercy and compassion. And we will do anything we can to keep the toxic toupee getting somebody on the bench. I don't know what can be done, but Mazie Hirono has promised they're going to go, the Dems are going to go in deep to stop that from happening, since Obama couldn't 8 months out after Scalia passed, which is suspicious to me. That's a sidebar and another story. He couldn't, Mitch McConnell told him that there was no way that could happen in an election year. But he's fixing up the rules.
She wasn't even in the morgue. She wasn't even
right.
in the
Came out about a half an hour after the word got out that
we're going to vote expeditiously. And I know I text this and I said it and I didn't say it in jest. I meant it. Monday. Be prepared Monday to hear the 2 to 3 names that they're going to propose.
Yeah. And I hope there's so much dirt underneath their fingernails and toenails and all between their balls and ass.
Can I
we don't get past anything?
Can I bring out do you mind if I bring out some facts really quickly, Jace? Because
sure.
T-Barb said some, and I was waiting until we had a lull, but I see T-Barb saying it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. One of the things that hit me, and I'm going to be I was very selfish, and Johnny gave me a recusal earlier and said it's okay to be selfish. Because the first thing I thought, and it wasn't, oh my God, thank you for fighting, Ruth, you were great. The first thing I thought was we're fucked.
You did.
I have to go back and I have to go, okay, I'm sorry. And I sat and I meditated and I prayed on it. And I said, something good has to come out of this. Because we're at the 9th hour.
Yes.
It's gone. And so I took a step back and I looked at it. So I'm going to drop some figures for people. And I have them up here because they were absolutely astronomical to me. And I have some backups for this. So within 2.5 hours after the announcement of her death, the Democratic Party got $20 million in donations. We are now at 24 hours. We're at 28.5 hours after the announcement of her death. That has the Democratic Party, just the DNC alone, has seen a 75% increase in donations in 28.5 hours. 75%. Also, let's look at another thing. Act Blue got more donations in the last 24 hours. T-Barb said 40 million. T-Barb, when I looked before we got on, I saw something at like 57 million. Okay. Then let's take it down a couple different steps. The Biden-Harris campaign also are reporting a 50-something% increase in the last few hours in donations. Then let's take it another step further. There's if anybody who watches Pods or listens or watches Pod Save America, they have a Ditch Mitch campaign, which I donated to Ditch Mitch it was like 8 years ago. Last night, if you saw the pie chart, the graph, it literally did this flat for like a year. Last night,
spiked
97%. 97%. I have friends who texted me throughout the day who said, I've never in my life donated to a political candidate, and today was my first time.
All right.
And I have to sit and think, something good has to come from this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I don't know what will. I think there's going to be, you don't have to be a psychic, a tarot reader, anything to know that it's going to be rough. It's going to be a fight. They're going to do everything they can. But those numbers just made me sit back for a minute, because I'm almost wondering too, just if from a spiritual perspective, if spirit was like, some of y'all are still asleep. Some of y'all are still asleep. I need to scare the shit out of you. Boop. Here you go.
Yeah.
Because here's a piggyback on that too. Ruth Bader Ginsburg could have passed away and it just been, like Elijah Cummings type things, to where it was a big deal, but then it became an old story. This one seems to be a big deal, like you said, Adrian, and then it lit a spark. It's like, okay, now we're talking Supreme Court. Now we're talking replacements. Now we're talking Trump replacements. Now we're talking leveling the playing field, and now it's tilted. And so, yes, I think that is one of the silver linings that came out of this is somebody, not all of us, somebody got shook. Somebody got shook and awake.
Yep.
And said, look, the world really is. I mean, I don't mean to be, the doomsday person, but sometimes you have to look and say, maybe the world really is in balance here.
Yep.
Maybe not in balance, but in play. If this election, like I was telling you, it's not selfish to say we need him out. We need another thing in because we literally kidnap people's kids, and that's just one tip of the iceberg.
Healthcare is about fucked. In cages.
Too much rides on this.
Roe versus Wade. You know they're gonna take care as soon as they get that concern. Not to mention, let's take a second, you guys. She's gone. When this election does not go Trump's way, God willing, you know he's going to send it to the Supreme Court, a conservative Supreme Court. And that's before if he can even get his pick in. I want you to marinate on that for a minute. Yeah. And I'm not, like Johnny said, not trying to scare people, but this is the real deal.
That's how he does shit. He's already setting it up by talking about how it's rigged and fraudulent votes, and I'm being I'm being cheated out of it, and y'all should give me 4 more years because Obama spied on my campaign, and he's out here treading water with lies, because I think he sees the handwriting on the wall. He sees that people are over his ass. Yeah.
Can I do a side note real quick?
Sure.
Do not call yourself a Christian and then turn around and say somebody's death was the best thing that could have ever happened to you.
Yes. Yes.
And I'm done on that.
Yeah. Well, you know, Cash Peters did a very interesting read on Christians, those that are following in Jesus' footsteps and those who are on the dark side, who can quote scripture, the Bible thumpers who go around waving their Bible like a flag and submit to heinous things. These evangelicals didn't they got with him for tax relief. Even though they're not paying taxes anyway, they got with him because of Paula White, who's been getting up and throwing people into the pits of hell. Ain't heard from her stank ass lately. I wonder where her ass is.
In the background, politicking and doing what she can to get him back in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we got somebody praying for him 24 hours. He's going to need all the prayer he can get, and there's nothing that you can do about it, because...
What kind of prayer are you saying exactly?
I don't know if he gets up, and anybody who doesn't believe in this man is going to be thrown into the pits of hell. Bitch don't have a heaven or hell to send anybody to.
And see, here's the thing too, that Paula White and people like her, oh Lord, don't get me started on religion, Jesus help me. But what people like her need to understand.
He did the claps, people.
I did. Yes. Right now. What people like her, I'm gonna do the presidential thumb. What people like her need to understand. The devil believes in God too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you and we need to pray for him. What kind of prayer are you praying? Because something ain't working, or you ain't got no fucking power. One of the two is an absolute sure. And you probably are not. And I can't judge nobody's spirit, but I'm going to do it right here. So Lord, forgive me in advance. But you probably are not anointed.
Nope.
What you are is in position. That's it. Just to go
and she climbed up on the back of black people and the black church.
When your church had the storm came and knocked her church down one time, and she got all the people in the neighborhood to come pick it all back up. Right. Most of the people was African Americans. And so they built her church up from the ground up. And then she turned around and she's serving this racist fuck. And so how you gonna turn around and look at your community that built your church and then say, oh no, hey, we need to go support this. Support this man for what?
Y'all help me, forgive me, but isn't there something in the Bible that actually says beware of the false prophet?
I'm just beware of the Paula Whites of the world.
And the Trump. Yes. You have anointed him as your savior. Beware of the false prophet. And that's like Johnny said, I'm not going to go there in religion. I'm going to go ahead and sit my little my medicinal.
Look, why don't we do a little shot? We're going to get into this. We're going to get into this thing. Why don't we read a little bit on Paula White? What is her shock? Can y'all tune into her energy from it? What's her shock?
I don't want to.
Okay, then we won't do it.
Yeah, I
will. I ain't gonna do her chakra, but I'm gonna pull 10 cards, and I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna pull
I was going to say, you want to do a general read and I'll do a chakra read?
You got it.
All right, because we just brought a name up. I was really thinking about somebody else, but while we're on the evangelical situation, then next we can go to Jerry Fowler Jr., who was found drunk and
bleeding
again
and couldn't get up. You dig? So
his tampon fell out, I guess. Oh, I meant to say that. I almost said I didn't mean to say that, but I meant.
But you meant to say it.
Yes, I did.
Sharon Granger says my sister has a shrine to rump in her bedroom. That's really too bad. I feel for you.
Paula White just annoys me on so many levels.
We'll be praying for your sister.
Because when people like her get into these type of positions, everything that she has ever done, I now get to question, because now you being
amen. That's right.
Because there is no way that you, as a Christian, should be supportive of his administration. You can pray for him because he's still one of God's souls too.
But
pray for him.
They're doing.
Lay some hands on him. Throw some holy water on him and see if the bitch melts. I don't care what it is you do there. But supporting his administration when his administration literally kidnapped people's children.
That's right.
And then you turn around and talk about we need to pray for him. You need to pray, yes, but not for whatever it is you be praying for. Anyway, I'm gonna stop.
I know it makes me very angry.
Her chakras don't surprise me. None of this surprises me. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, hope too.
None of these surprise me. So we're going to start from the crown down.
I can't. Go ahead.
Johnny say I can't.
Are you ready, sir?
You go ahead. I just pulled the devil. I just didn't. I knew I was going to, and there it was. But go ahead.
I'm gonna back it up because it's her for her crown chakra. She gets universal energy. She does not have it. False prophet. I'm gonna say it again. She does not have. She is not what she is. False.
No, she's a false prophet.
Okay. How do I know that? Because what's next? Her third eye chakra is present. She's not present. You cannot be this holier than thou, this preacher, this whatever you claim to be, and be deficient, no universal connection, and then you also have the inability to be present. It doesn't work. Communication, watch what you say. She does not speak divine truth. Your throat chakra is all about speaking and listening to divine truth. Bitch ain't got it. I'm sorry. Of all the cards to get, the bitch got the communication card. So that's how you're a mean one, Mrs. Grinch. Because compassion, she doesn't have it. Again, of all the heart chakra cards to get, you didn't get forgiveness. You didn't get all the fucking cards in heart chakra, but you got compassion. Use a cold hoe.
Yeah.
Okay. Finance. Let me go backwards. Hold on. So then let's go to her solar plexus chakra. Decisions. This is a calculated bitch. Everything she does
is for her.
Her fear of losing power. I make decisions based off of attaining and keeping and asserting power. Okay. Emotions. She's an emotionally devoid hoe, but we all kind of know that because, again, we look at her icy soul. And then what drives her from her root chakra is finances. She's about money. Beware of the false prophet.
Yes. Yes. Let the church say amen.
What profit to man to gain the whole world and lose his soul? I think that might be in that book that you were supposed to be studying, Paul White.
Yes, Paul White.
Here's the problem. Here's why this bothers me so much. Her and the Creflo Dollars and the Kenneth Copelands and all these people.
Oh, we got a Creflo.
This is why this bothers me so much.
$1.
Yeah.
In the time of crisis, you are supposed to be our beacons. When human beings, okay, listen, on a spiritual level, yes, God is there, always has been, always will be. I call it my saga. Your spirit, your angels, your guides, your ancestors. That's your saga. They will always be there for you. But sometimes we need other human beings.
Yep.
We need other people. We need a hug. We need something.
Amen. Yeah.
Interaction. That's why human beings have these type of feelings. They need each other. I don't even people like me who are hermits, you still need to see other people from time to time.
Yes,
you are supposed to be a beacon to lost people. You are supposed to be a beacon to hurt people. You are supposed to be a beacon to people who need compassion, who need something from somebody who's not going to judge and does nothing but show the love of God. That's what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
That's why this pisses me off so much, is because you're not that.
I need my church.
Here you have your inside knowledge and you're walking away. Mm-hmm. You turned away from it for what?
Right.
For money.
10 of Pentacles, big money, church. Yeah. So your illumination and your clarity, the Queen of Swords and the illumination with the sun, has hit the Hangman. Now, here's the thing. Here's your teetering point. In here, you know you're doing wrong, but I can't judge your spirit. But I'm telling you, by your actions, I can judge, because you are human and I get to do that. But you know that you are doing the wrong thing.
Yes.
Do not, and this is not that she's listening, but somebody this may go in the ether and somehow find it to her. Don't let the shit hit the fan before you decide to change your perspective.
Well, I see it hitting the fan. I really do.
It has beyond hit it.
God ain't playing with nobody.
No, I see it hitting the fan because you have called yourself a prophet. You have said you're coming in my name, and God is not mocked.
Be not fooled.
No.
That's her fear.
Yeah.
In the fear position is justice.
Yeah.
Fairness.
Yeah. She's going to have a tremendous fall from grace, and well-deserved one. I remember when she stood up in Titty Jake's church. Titty Jakes is the reason she got all of that attention.
In the first place.
Talked about when Donald Trump called her.
Yep. And
how she said in front of that church, I don't care what you think. I want to know how a billionaire thinks. And he could memorize some of her sermons. He liked her because she's skinny, blonde. He liked her look.
She's been passed around Hollywood.
He didn't care about any doggone sermons. He liked the way. I remember one time showed a picture of him pulling out a chair for her, and he was looking at her ass the whole time. He, looking down at her behind.
This is her hopes.
The devil.
This is in the hope position.
That's some bullshit.
And the reason such a thing would be in a person's hopes position is because you want what it got. Whatever that is, whether it's the 10 of Cups, which is harmony, or whether it's the devil and it's all its incarnations. Because as you just said, how does a billionaire think? That should be the least of your concern. What you should be doing is, what is going on in his mind and in his soul? How can I help him? That you are a shepherd. You are supposed to lead the flock. People like Donald Trump need you the most. Actually, not you, because you're a false prophet, but people.
Especially she's been appointed as his spiritual advisor.
Yeah, she needs one too. That is actually Jake's role. Right. He's supposed to be her spiritual advisor. He was the spiritual advisor to her, Juanita Bynum, and John Gray, I do believe. Those were the people that I know for sure that he was the spiritual advisor to. And all three of them need spiritual advisors, because all three of them got some real fucked up lives.
Real.
This is how it ends for her, is money and connections, networking. This is what she cares about. I didn't get no Hierophant. I didn't get no Temperance. I didn't get no angel cards, no God cards, no Jesus cards.
Because now you can go on Jim Baker's show and brag about being able to walk in and out of the White House like he wants. And they're blaming it all. It's all about God, and and it's biblical. See, she sounds like a QAnon in disguise to me, because they compare the trumpets in Revelation to Trump's name, even though his name is Ruth. I don't know how they got there. But speaking of church and false prophets and fake ass colleges and all of that, let's take a look in on Jerry Falwell Jr.
That girl.
Yeah, his ass was found drunk and
Drunk and tooted, bitch. Drunk and tooted.
right.
Not just drunk in a situation, but drunk and tooted. Okay.
Yes.
Keep going.
So he's not handling this situation very well because they're looking into and why he was taking luxury trips, private planes, and you know.
He had a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, as they say.
He had his hands in two bushes.
I was trying to refrain from going there, but I brought it up, didn't I?
You did. He had a hand in each bush.
Oh Lord.
Yes, his tea is all out in the street, boy.
But there's a dear song that says, "I love my wife and love my children, but I like a little dick every now and then." And so,
yeah.
Push it. Hey, I like
that's the Jerry Falwell theme. It's just
Yeah, every now and then,
Maybe he turned on Instagram and saw his boyfriend was with somebody else, and then he started drinking.
Got bad.
He was fumbling around the house, fell down the stairs. His wife was like, "Oh my God, he's drunk and bleeding." Well, pick the bitch up and wipe him off. You're supposed to be picking him through sickness and health till death we do part. Pick him up, wipe him off, and then sit him down in the corner somewhere and let him dry himself out. No.
Yeah, get him a damn cold, got an ice pack, and lay his ass down. He and Andrew Gillum, Ooh, all they tea is coming. Andrew Gillum and as DDM calls Mother Gillum.
Oh Lord.
He called his wife Mother Gillum.
Y'all know I know them, right? I said you weren't paying when your last live. I was trying to flag you. I know them. They're friends of the family.
Oh,
don't talk about his business.
I'm praying for them. I really am.
I know them.
I really am. I was so angry with him.
There's nothing you need to pray for, bitch. They good. Pray for motherfuckers who don't know better. Pray for motherfuckers who can't get right. Pray for motherfuckers who get deceived and go, no. Don't pray for grown ass motherfuckers who know what the fuck they do. Period.
You save that prayer, you need it later.
Pray for yourself. Don't pray for them.
Because I think, like we said in the thing, he was set up. Yes,
he was set that.
However, they can't film you if you didn't take your ass
over there,
Ronnie.
Drugs.
Nobody can take a picture of your booty hole if you don't spread the cheeks for it.
I'm saying he split it down and busted open.
Open.
I was so through.
Let the liquor tell it. That's not the first time he's been caught. That was just the first time that he couldn't sweep it.
That was the first time everybody saw it.
No. Everybody has seen it before. It just was on a local level.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what a YouTuber has said. He said everybody in that FAMU, Florida State University Circle, New Gillum.
By the way, shout out to FAMU. Sorry.
They do Andrew Gillum's tea.
That's how I know, because half of my family is FAMU alumni. So, I was actually looking at the house I'm living in right now. I was looking at it. My realtor, who is props to my realtor because he's also my cousin. And I was like, yo, cuz, what's up with your boy, with our boy? He's like, this was months ago. This was like February, March, when he was like, well, he's like, Drew doing Drew. I said, well,
all right.
Drunk out.
All right. Well, when I listened to him, I kind of thought that a little bit. I said, there's something a little sweet about him. But I thought, nah.
He's all the girls' delight, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Because here's the thing, it's just like all the rest of them. You have to live a certain way because you want to be in the public.
You want to advance, yeah.
You got to be Lindsey Grahamish. It's like, but if you was just allowed to be yourself, and maybe this is a greater message for society. If you just let people be themselves, maybe these type of stories wouldn't happen so frequently. They'll still be here, but maybe not so frequently.
This cleanup tour is going to work out for him well because he's got it's at the top of the reading at the Crown. That would be called the Crown, dumbass. I got this sign. At the past, some confusion. However, it's crossed by the, which is funny. It's crossed by the high priestess. There's no secrets. We know you a queen.
Gillum.
We know you's a girl.
Yeah.
We know you's the lady. You's the afternoon delight. Mother Gillum has said, well, by sexuality is fluid. I mean, I guess.
No, she
However, what did she say?
That's what she said.
She said it's fluid, but
Fluid.
is it flu when your husband's caught with a whole bunch of meth and a dildo in his ass in a hotel room?
Yeah, that's.
Is that fluid? If it's fluid for you, if you, as we see in the Black culture, if you like it, I love it, boo boo. Which really means if you ever hear an African Americans, as Johnny calls us, say, if you like it, I love it. Please understand that African Americans does not like the decision you're making.
Look at you saying, "Did you know you had to know before you married him?"
Yeah, you knew, but I get Knight of Wands is his outcome. I think he's moving forward. He's trying to move on. This little cleanup tour, I guess, for some people, they bought it. But if you talk to the sisters in Tallahassee, we could have told you years ago. But here's the thing, though.
He had a promising future.
Wow, dirtiness aside, he did some okay things. I don't know, Johnny, because I act like where you lived in Florida is anywhere near motherfucking Tallahassee. I'm gonna say.
I didn't read it on him, and I seen that he will have some recovery from this. Yeah. But I think politics is not something he needs to go back into. If you are sincere, which he's not, but if you are sincere about the healing of thy marriage, then that is what you need to focus on. Everybody else can go by the wayside until you figure that situation out first. Because there's some woman, and this is why I can't stand this DL bullshit, is there's some woman who trusted you and then you lied the whole time.
Well,
do you think he lied?
Okay, so I have a hypothetical question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask it directly to Johnny, and then Jace, you can slide in because you're gonna say some petty shit. I feel it already, but I'm gonna ask it to Johnny since he motherfucking said it. Hypothetically speaking, if you have an arrangement already and you know that your husband's a sissy and you marry him because you know he's going to be an up-and-coming Black politician and you also have what you have on the side, is there really a marriage you have to work out? Because you technically didn't breach an agreement.
No. I get what you're saying. This first lady syndrome then. Because no matter what the pastor does, I still got my parking spot and I still got my seat.
So then maybe he doesn't. So hypothetically, then does he need to work on his marriage, or can he just? There's nothing. I don't
keep it on.
I think because what I see is he needs to stay out of the public eye. I assumed that if you was to stay out of the public eye, then that's what you needed to do, is go work on your marriage. But if you got some sort of agreement ahead of time, like Will and Jada, then go ahead.
I'm just saying, hypothetically speaking, if you know that your husband is again, he's a lady, he has proclivities to dictivities.
Dictivities. Let me write that down.
I'm just, and I'm not asking this to be petty. It's just, I know he's trying to understand. Is there anything that really needs to be worked out? Or maybe the workout part, Johnny, to your point is we need to work out how do we march together in public with this new identity.
Right. Okay.
That's what I kept getting is you need to
I think you had to know was at the time. And she's probably one of these sisters who said, I'll grin and bear it because he is up and coming, because he does have a promising career. I'll be his beard. I'm going to hang with him. But you probably had a line in the sand saying, don't disrespect me. I know what you're doing. Keep it in my face.
I think what they need to work out is who the fuck set him up. and how to make sure that they don't go.
Well, there's a story about that. There's a story that the male escort whom he was busted with was a right-wing or blogger, friends with Candace Owens, because the story, he got the photographs and stuff, even though he posed, a lot of that stuff looked posed.
It was 100% set
Yeah.
up. I think me, you, and Tallulah read on this months and months ago when we were like, oh yeah. Because I started thinking sabotage.
Because I kept getting emails that y'all shouldn't laugh at him, and then I sent you a middle finger emoji back. Say off my shit if you don't want to hear what I got to say. So
that was a smooth setup. But again, Johnny, to your point, now mind you, Johnny, as you always say, nobody can take a picture of your butt if you don't have your pants down.
You was there. Sniffing and dipping.
We moved from Caldwell to Gillum. Let's take them one at a time. Johnny, what do you see for Gillum's future?
That he needs to stay out the public eye.
You need to stay out of the public eye. I agree with you. Maybe after y'all do your little
And see, that's why I'm like, maybe he needs to stay out the public eye and go work on his marriage. But like you say, she's the beard. So
if she's the beard, what's there to work on?
What kind of life is that, though?
I can't imagine. I just don't know. Ask Will and Jada. Shit, they know about it.
I was going to say another celebrity couple, but I do not want to have this show go completely. I'm like, oh, I almost said it out loud too.
No,
Oprah and Stedman.
We all know Oprah and Stedman.
Ready to say it. So, let's look at Caldwell. What you think his future is going to be like? He missed his boyfriend.
Drunk and bleeding.
Drunk and bleeding.
Naked and afraid.
Something similar. Or Naked and Afraid, and then later on Dancing with the Stars.
You see?
Oh, Lord.
Trying to make a comeback. And he can go where all the rejects go on One American News, where Sean Spicer and everybody that can't get a gig anywhere else goes.
I just saw something.
What?
I just saw the OAN symbol go up in flames.
Oh, very good. That's a good thing for it.
It actually hurt. It was just like it took my breath away when I just. As soon as OAN, I was like.
It was started by a Russian guy in San Diego, and he has been great at pushing out QAnon type conspiracy stuff. I mean, he's been great at it, and that was supposed to be because I think that Trump may have some kind of investment in that too. Junior, incidentally, the smart ones here in Atlanta a few days ago didn't hear much about his trip. Eric was in town.
Yes, he was. Y'all got to entertain that one.
Where was he at? The Hooked on Phonics convention? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, I, O, P. Oh, because he is so smart.
Kittens don't grow up to be dogs.
Jerry Falwell.
Midgets. Okay, so who are we talking about now?
Oh well,
check on his wife too. Check because she's missing that boy too. Because he was laying.
She come up in here. Something is wrong. There is just wrong. There's some messages. And money. Right. So going forward, we may be talking about I could be wrong.
Okay, but you rarely are on your read.
That's my word of warning. I could be wrong.
Okay.
But it looks like she may want to separate, not necessarily divorce, but because that looks a different thing in the eyes of the public. But she may want to separate, and you give me some of that money.
I got the Chariot. Yep.
He is worried about losses and money. And not just losses in money, but like deep losses here with the Ten of Swords.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
The ends and the lovers and the money. And so I clarified the lovers part, and then I give the little boy. This is the page of cups.
Boy.
Yeah. That's what I got for him, the little boy, the little pool boy.
Carlo, that very elegant name.
And then the 7 of Swords and the 2 of Cups around the little boy. Like, I don't think that they gonna run away together like Romeo and
Juliet. Break me off a piece and I'll go hang with him for a minute. Huh?
But I think something like that.
I miss him. Bless us, that was some funny shit to me. Say he was found drunk, and it's like we find the most awful things to laugh about because again, sometimes shit ain't funny.
Drunk and tooted.
But it's like, look here, we didn't put the drink in his mouth. He did that himself.
Yes, he did.
Pushed him down the steps. He fell, or his wife helped him to the bottom. Is all it was. She didn't push him. She just helped him to the bottom. That's what that's called. And so, ain't none of us responsible for his situation. But if I gotta get a kiki and a ha-ha out of it, then hey, look.
Dang. Well, let's move on, man.
And you did. So
are we still doing fall? Well, you're gonna do chakras, Adrian.
Well, I had pulled cards. I'm getting something a little different, but it could. Because I'm trying to balance it against what Johnny gets. He's bound and trapped by something, and he's trying to sit something out. And I'm wondering if that's the marriage, kind of like when you're talking about how she may want a divorce and take his money, and he's probably like, nah, Heffa,
Mm-hmm.
Because that would kill him, I think.
What's gonna happen is me, you, and the pool boy are going to sit in this entanglement because he's not wanting to move on, and the outcome I'm getting is the 2 of Swords. And I was about to pull clarifiers before Jace said, "Yeah, out in the cold." And money, 3 of Pentacles, money decision. He doesn't know whether shit to go blind. Do I stay or do I go? Because if I go through this and live my full life, I'm out in the cold, right? Or I can make this agreement and kind of make her make this Heffa, Queen of Swords, stay with me, but pay her, make some kind of money agreement. Look, I'm gonna make this sweet for you if you just let me and the pool boy do what we need to do on the side.
It might be what they fighting over, the pool boy.
Ain't nothing wrong with the little bump and grind.
Yeah.
And your body is my playground. Let me lick you up and down and just move on.
He must have been laying some mean pipe. They both fighting over him.
They both is.
They're both feeling depressed because he's not around.
I just aside, I don't know if I could sleep with the same dick that also fucked my husband in the ass.
Well,
I don't know if I could suck that same dick. And I don't.
If you had a rich husband and then somebody that you find attractive.
Well, I think he did her first. Maybe he liked to watch and he would do.
Well, they said to be fair, this is what we get is that they were all together. They said that he was with the wife and then Jerry was just watching.
He would watch and then
he wasn't participating.
Voyeurism shit, which to me is just my personal proclivity is a little bit more palpable than I'm gonna go ahead and slob on the knob that just opened my husband's booty hole back door. That's a little bit much for me to swallow, but I also am a little bit of a prude, so maybe that.
Yeah, well, I don't know if that's being a prude. That just might be being real. I'm not saying if that's what your groove is.
That's what your groove is.
That's what your get down is. Then get down with it.
I love it. Well, let's move on to somebody who reminds me of a big old fat jar of pickled pig feet.
Lindsey Graham?
No. I'm talking about Jabba the Hutt. Billy Barr.
I can't even.
He probably smells of vinegar. I don't know. I look at him and he strikes me as the kind of guy who would burp and fart a lot. Not to excuse me or anything. Just
in the middle of a sentence, like just like, bruh.
Nobody will say anything about it. They got to stand there and take that shit.
Yeah.
I hate he doing his laundry because he got some treasures in them panties.
I can't do it.
Oh, I feel sorry for the little lady.
Oh Lord, was you doing shit in brown crayons? What's going on in here? All these streaks everywhere.
And it was funny because before when he said he probably burps and farts at the same time, I immediately saw shit stained drawers. I was like, sure. But I wasn't going to be gross. But then you went there. So I was like, fuck it, he sharts.
Lord have mercy. I can't do
I mean, I didn't mean to traumatize anybody in the chat. I mean, really, I'm just thinking. That's what I'm looking at him and saying, I bet he does that and dares anybody to say anything.
He do look like he smells like vinegar and pig feet, though.
Would you say
Pickle pig feet?
Yes, he smell like vinegar and pig feet.
He does.
That's what he look like. What's that?
He's the kind of dude you smell him coming because you're just walking down the hard like, oh, Bill's coming.
What is
that? Yep. And then, I will never forget, and I know I'm going to hell for this. Black Jesus, forgive me. I was doing we were doing like the AIDS walk. We're all walking with my friends, and my friend Bernice goes, I smell a bum. And I go, Bernice, that's so mean. And sure enough, a homeless man was past. And I was like, she's like, what the fuck? I told you I smell the bum. And to this day.
No, she's going straight to hell.
No, I'm not kidding. It's been 20 years. I have prayed. I have actually gone to a Catholic church to go to confessional. I feel a certain kind of way about it because it was funny, but it was fucked up at the same time. But ever since then, when I'm like, I know I can smell someone. I think it's how my he was like, I smell a bum. I'm like, and then this motherfucker comes walking by. We're all like, oh my God. I know. Sorry, I have to tell that story. I have so many. Sorry.
He's calling the BLM. He's calling our civil rights movement 2.0 a Bolshevik movement, and we should be charged with sedition. And we don't care about Black lives. So what is that fat bastard? What's going on with him? Then we'll stage ourselves. We'll spray ourselves.
I'm not wait till after we're done with the friends.
Oh, wait, I'm ticking now. That's what we used to say back in the day.
I saw him, in an interview. He's leaned back in a chair, looking fatter than usual. Smiles. He just sits there and talks shit.
Because he's eating the ethics of all his co-workers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
Fat
I'm gonna have to retell that story. I really am.
I smell bum. Walking by.
And you think, damn. Now when somebody can pass by and you catch it downwind.
Oh gosh.
But here's the fucked up part. He smelled like a bum. We all know what bums smell like. And I just was like, I'm still so conflicted.
Yeah.
Should we have called this man's homelessness out? But Johnny.
Oh Jesus, I can't do it. I'm about to pass out.
I smell bum.
Oh Lord, I can't even.
Whoever smelt it dealt it, and that was a homeless man.
That's right. Yes.
It's 56 degrees outside and I'm hot now.
I know.
Yes. I know.
What are we talking about? I'm so sorry.
We talking about
Freddie.
We talking about Jabba the Hutt. We talking about that fat pig foot vinegar smelling bastard. Bill Maher.
Here's what I want to know.
Okay.
What is it? Dissect it, anybody. What is it that brings a person to leave their ethics behind? Because Iran-Contra and now Donald Trump, he has zero character whatsoever.
Right. Right. He's known to be.
What is that thing that makes you say, I don't need character? I'd rather have this.
Money.
Oh, Jesus.
Money.
That's not.
No.
Interesting.
See, he's a lawyer.
Card.
So he can go private practice and it's all who you know.
Nah, I don't think Daddy-O gonna be going into private practice.
I mean, but you could do that if you just wanted money.
Yeah.
What is that thing?
Power.
That enticing thing.
It's power, guys.
Power.
It's a particular kind of power. It's a power driven by wow. Okay, so I'm gonna start asking some questions based off of the card I just pulled. He's married, no?
Yes.
Yes, he's married, and two of his children, his daughter
or the White House, right? Or work in the
are lawyers in the White House, and one is in the Treasury Department.
Okay, so how close is he to Lindsey Graham? Are they friends? Do they fuck with each other like that? Have we seen?
I just got a terrible visual.
I don't know because Lindsey Graham is apparently a lot closer to Donald Trump than I ever thought he was.
Well, you know, he's sucking the genie's wing.
I have something, and maybe Johnny. Okay, I'm going to tell you what I got, and then maybe you can pull tarot to explore this to see why I got this. So I I pulled the chakra card. I said, what deficiency, what chakra is causing, and specifically what chakra is deficient, and what is the deficiency in that chakra that causes him to act like such an asshole? What is it about this power trip?
Yeah.
I got the sacral chakra. So again, you guys, your sacral chakra is your house of pleasure and joy, is your house of emotions, is your house of creativity, is also your house, and creativity can be either reproductive, like having a child or being a painter, whatever, okay? And it's also your house of sexuality. He gets the sacral chakra, and particularly the sexuality card.
What?
And I go, but as I started thinking about it, I go, why would he get that? Why, if it's about openness, beauty, sharing, honor, what is it? What can you tell me more? And I used the tarot to clarify, and I got the 10 of Wands, the burden. I wonder if he's closeted. And this is, again, I bet
there are a bunch of them up there that are, I know Ron Johnson sucks and swallows. Just look at his mouth. I ain't playing.
Ew, Jace,
I already know. I saw it. I can't shake the feeling. He's on the DL.
And it's fresh.
I mean, oh my gosh, the thought of somebody giving him a blowjob is.
But Jace, let's talk about it though. Okay. He's burdened by it. Whatever this sexuality is, he's burdened. There's a burden. And when I think about it, and let's just say maybe it's not even.
If he's diabetic, he probably can't get an erection.
Like Becca was saying, limp dick. There's something going on. Something. If you cannot perform, if you cannot do something sexually, and it burdens you, this is how he acts out. Maybe this is why another reason why he acts out.
Because he can't get none, he can't get hard. Plus, I wouldn't want to be underneath all that.
I wouldn't touch fat fuck Freddie if you put a gun to my head, $8 million in my pocket, and said all of my student loans are forgiven.
His legs all up underneath his balls. My God.
Love is blind.
I just can't imagine. Woo.
So I'm going to ask, I got my Madame Endora cards.
Okay.
Ask first, what is that thing that makes him leave his character behind?
Okay.
What it says. I'll pull 2 cards. So look here.
Yeah, he
What'd
doesn't.
you get? What'd you get?
If it's something about sex, I'm happy.
Yes. That's what this card is.
Yep, because this
love and fidelity, sex, and all. And then
never
chimera. Chimera is something that doesn't belong.
Yep.
Oh, so he's sexually frustrated, which is why he's such a juicy asshole. Poor fella. I wished I could feel for him.
Because a chimera.
So that makes him a bitter old man, huh? Don't get hard.
Just think about it. If you can't, as a man, I don't have a
Very
penis.
important to men, you know.
I'm about to say, if you can't please, if you can't get it up, if you cannot exert your prowess in bed, how else are you going to exert that power and exercise that strength?
The 3 P's: pleasure, protection, provision. That's what drives a lot of men.
I was going to say pussy, but okay.
Well, that falls in the pleasure part. But they want to know they can please, they can provide, and they can protect.
Yep.
That's what drives a lot of ego for men. And
He's providing,
but he can't perform and he can't please. Or
let me clarify these. I'm going to do 3 cards. Let me clarify these, because the chimera is a creature that is put up of random parts.
Mm-hmm.
It's got like the tail of a snake, and then it has like the feet of a dog and the head of a lion. It's got a bunch of stuff that doesn't belong. And so it's
That's a good one, KB. Maybe he is I don't know. Keep cool, Johnny, because
one card magician,
what's called
Goddess of Cups, and the Tower.
So are we saying things aren't lovely at home?
Things aren't.
Wifey might be seeing her piece on, got her piece on the side.
Things are Pensian at home.
Okay.
Where they look, because mind you, Bar is ultra religious and deeply rooted in these weird little Knights of the Round Table type things too.
Bar's wife and Muller's wife, they're the church ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at least they were.
Right, were.
Yeah, at least they were. He blew that friendship to bits.
Separate bedrooms.
You can't be sexually free.
Also, you think he might be closeted because not only will his dick not get hard, but he can't be who he really is, which is.
I think he may like both. He just.
I think he's a big old fat girl.
When I pulled this card, and then when this came out, I heard homosexuality.
Okay. All righty.
I heard it. And I tried to clean it up. I tried to make
but that was the image I saw in my head too. And it's like, oh gosh, no.
But I heard, because think about it. Why would you be burdened if you can't perform sexually? You can get a strap on. You can get the Viagra, as
right.
Her name says it. There's fucking get a stinger from the fucking Quickie Mart, and do what you need to do with that. You can get, he's got enough money to get pumps and all this other stuff.
You get all the stuff on his health insurance.
It wouldn't be he's got free health insurance for life, children. That shouldn't burden him as much as it is, unless you're hiding something.
Because I think it's more now than a physical thing. It's emotional.
Yeah.
Because I've never been able to be who I wanted to be, therefore I act out. All kids do that. When they are suppressed, they act out. Because
they have to be
bust out anyway. Mm-hmm. And so when a child wants to, for instance, let's say they want to go in the kitchen and take all the pots and pans out of the thing, they want to bang on them. They may like music, and you just don't see it that way because you just see them making noise and a mess. Yep. And so you tell them to go in the room, close the door. Next thing you know, they're writing on the wall. They need to express something some kind of way. It has to come out. And so when you suppress your kids, anyway.
Well, poor fella, I just don't feel for you because you're a mean bastard. Absolutely. And if your dick doesn't get hit, nah. Let's talk about another. Oh, you have something else to say?
I was going to say, talk to Lindsey Graham, Bill Barr. Ask Lady G it's called, the Grinder. There's a couple other little sites you can get.
Grinder, Jack.
I would just ask that you do it a little bit more, a little cleaner than Lady G, because her business is all out in these streets.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Let's talk about another fat bastard. Rush Limbaugh, who called Kamala Harris, which led to T-shirts being made.
In his defense, the shirts were made before.
They were made before, really?
Before.
I didn't know the sequence.
Joe and the Hoe was, Amazon got blasted and got into a lot of trouble because within hours of that the announcement. There were shirts on Amazon from a couple different publishers that said Joe and the Hoe, and Amazon had to immediately pull it down. There was some backlash, and then there were some other shirts with really god awful things about her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, he doesn't understand that hatred and that vitriol and that vile mouth of his, and the fact that he probably gonna get a hard dick anymore either. And hearing aids and funky blisters between his fucking thighs and underneath his balls and shit. He ain't getting no pussy.
And see, here's my problem.
Use my mouth. He's got to pay for it. Maybe Melania takes care of him, the reptile. I don't know. But doesn't he understand that's feeding that cancer? That's
right.
I don't think he understands that part, but you're absolutely right. But he knows what that stuff does to the base that'll keep him rich, just like the Ann Coulters and the Candace Owens and all these people.
And that's what he needs right now in his spirit to help him fight through the cancer. He needs as much celebration, as much the stir, as much as he can to get more of that praise to help him mentally.
Because I know.
I just went on a rant because he called
me
nice.
But I have to say it anyway because sometimes I'm not nice. I said this before about an old teacher I had, and I couldn't stand her either. She died of breast cancer, and I said good when my nieces told me about her because they had her too. And it's not nice to say, but I couldn't stand that bitch either. And so, Rush Limbaugh, when you said he's dying, I said not fast enough.
Yeah,
that's not nice, but I meant that because he is vile.
Yes, he is.
Every possible strength of that word.
Vile on purpose, makes it a point to be vile.
And I can't because I'm not that good of a person. I'm not exactly Larry Girl, and I'm gonna say it here because I have permission to say it. I'm not Mother Teresa. I don't give a fuck. Mm-hmm. I don't like him. He is a horrible person.
Horrible human being.
So
he really is.
Not eating him fast enough. And so, excuse me.
And didn't he get the Medal of Freedom?
Yes, he did.
Yep.
So now that's become trash.
Yes.
I will never forget when he called those Duke basketball players nappy-headed hoes, and I said
that comes out of his mouth too easily.
You know, I was just then, and I was not. I don't even think I was. Maybe I was in. I don't think I was in college, and I was just like, you know what? There's space. There's a special place in hell for that man.
Right. And
that's somebody's fucking child.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's eating him up, and he doesn't get it. Mm-hmm. He might think that this adoration and this is what gets him attention, and he may think, no, it's what's happening on the inside of you that's eating up your lungs.
And this idea, now I was actually, YouTube play too much sometimes too. I wish sometimes YouTube was a person so I could cuss it out too sometimes. But I'm on the homepage and there's this video of Bill O'Reilly. Bill O'Reilly's got a digital show now. So he's back after blaming God for TV. And so I immediately do not recommend channel. I wish I could have said for fucking ever, but have that option on there. But I put do not recommend channel. But people like them who get this kind of like the bar thing. Like, what is it that made you just leave your whole character behind? Rush, I understand his is probably money and power, but that's just gross.
Alex Jones is getting sued left and right, and he's still out there. He's still out there.
Yes.
We have a bunch of vile men that we've been talking about tonight. Roger Stone, talking all out the side of his mouth like he's untouchable, wants to call out marshals and sue states. And you know, this is all aimed at Black people going to the polls, even though Justice Roberts doesn't think America is racist enough, so we don't need a Voting Rights Act. But Roger Stone, what does dear Roger have to look forward to? I'd really like somebody to slap the piss out of him, to take that smirk off of his face.
Or color in that tattoo on his back with no
With Nixon.
Yeah.
Prior to me reading on I'm not a politic person, believe it or not. But prior to me even reading on politics, I thought that was a joke when people said he had a Nixon tattoo on his
Until
back.
you saw it.
Until I seen it, and I'm like, what the absolute hell?
What kind of shit is that?
You laid down so they can draw Richard Nixon on
And
you.
it's not even a good tattoo. It looks awful. Like it's poorly done.
Yeah,
because it's on his crinkly ass skin. That's actually just a horribly done tattoo. Where you giggling and pulling your dick while they were getting it done, so the line was quickly.
I thought it was a joke.
No, Roger and his wife were the shenanigans too.
Put on you too while you at it.
He thinks he is invincible. I think that's part of the reason they want to keep the Mango Mussolini, as Becca calls him. That's why they want to keep him in office, because they feel protected. As long as he's there, that commutation stays in place, I guess. But I would love to. I guess we've gotten to the point where I really would like to see them come face to face with the shit that they've done to other people, the pain that they have caused, the weariness that they have caused, the lies that they've told. You just want them to come face to face with it, get their asses beat, something. You just want to see them suffer the way they've hurt other people. It just
some karma for a change, like because somebody need to go wake her ass up because she's missing some people.
He's gonna always be stuck. So the overall picture is that, believe it or not, they're going to protect him as much as they can, but they can only protect him to a certain extent, i.e., once he's out of power, whether that's hopefully God, Buddha, Krishna, Ganesha, Allah, Muhammad, Abraham willing, is in 4 days, or unfortunately, if it's 92 days, if we can pull off a Democratic Senate and impeach his ass, or years after that. He's protected as long as this stratosphere is in place. However, he's going to be the outcome card I get for him is the 7 of Wands. He's always going to be defending. He's always going to be on the defense. He's always going to be looking over his shoulder, trying to explain, trying to always trying to get on higher ground. Dude, you fucked up and you're a horrible person. We know who you are. You and Richard can go run as far as y'all want, but we know who you are and what's on your back. Literally and figuratively speaking. Johnny, I saw you were throwing cards. What do you have?
I get the same thing for him every time. There is a woman with an agenda against him. Something from his past, someone he's probably known. It goes very wrong with the Tower here. But there's the Lovers, there's the Moon, there's that Queen of Swords, the woman who always pops up. So you got the 10 of Cups in the mystery, the 10 of Cups and the treachery, the Lovers in the secret. There's some woman who, for the sake of money, I don't know exactly what it is that she's going to do to him, whether it's just betrayal or whether it is Visine in his tea, whatever it is.
Well, it was rumored that he and his wife used to put ads in the paper to get them playmates too. They were swingers as well.
Yeah.
Can you?
He looks like the Wicked Witch of the West, and I don't like talking about people's looks, but
it does look
somebody.
Like
I mean,
with that terrible piece sitting on the top of his head. I mean, really. Ugh.
He's one of those people when you walk by, you're like, I smell a bum.
A low down, no good, dirty bum too. Oh.
I want to get on a little bit of a serious note, though. I want to talk about what they're calling the Abraham Accords, this quote unquote peace deal, which isn't really a peace deal in the UAE and Israel. I don't know how they can have a peace deal and leave Palestinians out. I don't know how that happens.
I know.
I want to know what is now. I'm thinking that the Arabs, that king, they want access to American planes and technology and all of that, and Israel has it. But I think there's something darker going on there. I'm wondering, what is Trump getting out of it? Outside of trying to save his presidency and looking for a Nobel Peace Prize. He should get a Nobel Peace of Shit Prize. That's appropriate.
I think he just cares how much is my kickback.
Yep, that's it.
Because there is no deal.
Money again?
Yeah, there's no deal. They're not a peace deal. Okay, the Middle East is old as time. So
yeah,
and so is war.
Exactly.
Yes.
Jared the Jewish Kushner went overseas.
Yes.
In a land full of brown people who ain't Jewish.
Yeah.
And he brokered peace between get the fuck out of here.
Right. I got an 11-inch dick. Really? Okay, I believe that.
You can't even get your wife and mama to get along. You think you got get out of here.
There's no way. There's no
But
way.
he's in the Hill. There have been some opinion writers who are talking about Jared Kushner did a better job than the experts. And they're going, they're right wing, like Hugh Hewitt and those cats who really, he was on Reverend Al's show today talking about this new justice that Trump was going to appoint. But I'm just thinking there's something a bit more sinister underneath there than just,
it's gotta be. Jared Kushner don't know nothing about peace. Only thing that boy know how to do is stitch witchery patterns. He don't know nothing about no peace in the middle.
No. And pick out pretty pumps. Because I know you can't. He doesn't pick out Ivanka's shoes.
Yeah, he wears them. He probably, when he likes a pair of shoes, he probably gets them in his size as well.
His favorite movie is the Kinky
And she's like, God damn it, Jared, take my damn shoes off. You don't run the heel out again.
He's gonna be pretty soon. He'll be calling himself Jaretta. to get his Adam's apple shaved down. Yeah, like Caitlyn. They'll be in league together. I'm just saying, how can you call it a peace deal and just leave the Palestinians out like they don't matter?
Just delete it off the map. There is no Palestine.
This is about so I pulled the God, the child, the black fox. This is about taking advantage of people in a somebody's trying to get the upper hand. Mm-hmm. That's all this is about. This is we all, I make money moves. This is all this is about. This is not even, yes, it's about money, but we all know it's about power. This is also about Trump trying to get something on somebody. There's some with the ending in the black fox. There's some trickery and deceit behind this. This is part of a setup. I'm wondering if it's too late, if they figured this out.
Well, he's so clever. He has those. You got to learn a lesson from MBS. What they did with show. You better stop fucking around with them Arabs like that.
Because he's trying to get money and leverage over people who will literally put a bounty on you, and I guarantee you're gonna get some 19 in your teeth too.
That's right.
I learned this from the Golden Girls many, many years ago. I think it was Dorothy who said it. She said, you never fuck with somebody who can answer the question with you and which army. These motherfuckers can blow us to smithereens. I really don't think you want to fuck with them right now.
I really don't think so. You know that,
especially when you keep selling them all our weapons.
Bitch. Hardcore. Don't fight on your own home. Don't fuck. You go to the projects to start that fight. You don't bring that fight to your project. You fuck around in them projects. Second of all, you also, what does Biggie say? You can't sell on consignment. There's no such thing as consignment. You're not going to sit there and give them all of our weapons. And we were teaching these motherfuckers how to not shoot, not get. But booyaka. You think they're not? Come on, man. You think
they were in Florida when I was there, and one of them shot somebody, and then all of them got sent back.
Yeah.
Like maybe you shouldn't have brought them over here anyway to teach them how to fight and shoot.
Like, come on.
So I'm just saying, maybe these
somebody who can answer the question with you and what fucking army.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, the single mother Mexican trying to cross the border, that's the most dangerous person in the world.
That's right.
Brought an actual soldier from another country that has no allegiance to you and trained them how to fight.
And once that Mexican mother was in your protective custody, you sterilized her.
Yeah.
Girl, let's go there.
What I want to know is how is that not the biggest story in the world? Fuck COVID. Okay, we've been hearing about that for a long time. It ain't going nowhere. It's here, whatever. Y'all ain't got no advancements. Okay, talk to me when y'all got an advancement on it. I don't need to keep hearing what's going on.
How the biggest story only get 36 hours of news coverage, if that?
Yes.
They're you guys. Hello. We are playing. This is playbook. They literally went to Hitler's playbook and said,
yes,
we're literally, if there's like 10 shits that they did, we're at number 7 right now. Nobody's paying attention.
Yeah.
So okay. For those of you who've been in DC, for those of you guys who've been to the Holocaust Museum, no shade against the other Smithsonians. I love them. My favorite, this is going to sound fucked up, but let me tell you why. My favorite museum is the Holocaust Museum. Because when you walk through the door and that first few minutes you walk through, you hear people talking, you're like, yeah, and whatever. And within maybe 10 minutes in, it is silent. You can hear a pin drop. And everybody who walks to that museum is paying attention. And they're reading. And I have never, to this day, I have been to that museum more times than I can count, seen anybody just walk in and out. They're there for hours. And they walk in and they go, how could this have happened? And they walk out, and my dad and I went 2 years ago, and my dad said, my God, this is happening right now. I said, I know.
Yeah.
It's happening right now.
That is the only thing that I weep for, at least in here, is mankind.
Yep.
Like, I don't understand how that we as a species, like animals fight too. So I ain't trying to say that human beings would never fight, but why do we have to be so gross to each other? That there is beyond kidnapping a person's child and deportation and stuff you can fix with paperwork and time. This is a person you literally cut parts of their body out.
And God knows
you didn't ask them.
And they didn't even know why or that it was happening. But
imagine
that has happened.
How much pain they're in. Do you know how painful that is? I have endometriosis. The first days I can't fucking stand up. Okay. And you're gonna go and first when you cut that shit out, it fucking hurts. There is at minimum 6 to 12 week recovery, depending on your body. You're just gonna snatch somebody's shit out and then put them back in a fucking cage. Are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah.
With no cleanliness, nothing to keep, no pain pill, nothing. Can
You're not giving them anything, antibiotics, nothing. Just
they weren't being fed and given adequate water.
Right. Oh my God. And guess what? It happened down here in Georgia.
But Georgia was the only one that got fucking called out.
That's the only one that caught. I'm sure they're everywhere. I mean, everywhere. Texas, I would look into Texas all along the.
You can't convince me it's not happening in Texas and California. You can't convince me that this is not happening.
Oh, it is.
in Texas and California.
States in our, yeah.
It's just now, like I said, excuse me, Georgia was the one that got caught.
It is Hitler-esque. It is, you know, you got to wonder how many eggs that reptile can squeeze out. Maybe she can get, I don't even want to say it. Maybe one baron is enough, is all I'm going to say. But
why she ain't saying nothing? Why?
No, you know,
she said what she needed to say years ago when she got off that fucking plane with that jacket that says, "I don't really care."
Yeah, I don't care. Do you? Yes. Oh my God.
Why? And again, why is this not the biggest?
I don't understand.
Take the big kids. Take Rachel. Where's when you cried on TV because they had them in a cage?
She had a big
people
story.
cutting people's bodies up. Why is that not the big story? Anderson Cooper, you just had a baby. Why are you not talking about this?
I haven't even heard AOC talk about it.
Nobody.
No.
Why is this not the biggest story? Are we making it up and y'all don't know about it or what?
I know Rachel Maddow had Joseph Soboroff on and someone else when she read pieces of the complaint that was brought by the nurse. She did a pretty good segment on it. I don't know why it's not. But you see, that has been happening in America more than we know. Black women were sterilized when they first came out with the birth control pill, Depo-Provera.
Yes.
Women were going to free clinics, taking this tablet and getting pelvics that ended up in hysterectomies.
Mm-hmm.
Not the first time. This has been going on with Black and brown women for generations, and it's a damn shame because the whole and the cruelty of it all. Chad Wolf and Ken Cuccinelli have been lying and hiding that stuff. They've convinced ICE. Can you imagine when I think about those children? Where are you taking them? How many are being trafficked? How many have been abused? We don't know. And then now, because of COVID-19, you're just going to let them loose.
Yep.
Without their parents. What have we become?
Not what have we become. What are we continuing to show the world? Because again, this isn't fucking new. Just a different.
My thing is, it's all of them. Every human on Earth. This is
our story.
Conversation about
Child's World said, yeah, Native American women. Those children were treated
sick.
Taking these people's babies away from them.
And I just
assimilated into white households.
Why is this not the biggest story?
I agree with you, Johnny.
This is why it's not, though. I got the answer. This is why it's not. Because everything he says and does makes the fucking news no matter what it is. It has been that way before he was president.
Yep. And sadly,
the economy is not in good shape. The environment is not in good shape. We literally kidnap people's kids. People are still in detention centers, forced hysterectomies. He's lying about money.
200,000 dead.
All these different things that they could be talking about, but no, the president tweeted this morning that he had an egg croissant sandwich, so let's put it on the fucking news. At some point, can you stop talking about him and talk about everything that he's done?
That's right.
I don't want to see him all the time. We get it. He's horrible.
I'm going to do some media literacy on this, though, because y'all know Dr. Coleman here with PhD media literacy. So let's talk about this. To an extent, we have to hold ourselves accountable because Trump is in the news because Trump makes good TV. Why does Trump make good TV? Because every time he's on, people want to hear not what he says, how the news is reacting to the crazy shit he says, which then sells advertising dollars, which then tells the networks that this is what people want to see. Maybe we need to fucking chill.
Yes.
Maybe we need to read Maybe we need to read Al Jazeera. You can read Al Jazeera.
You do read Al Jazeera.
Great news channel. Maybe take what you say with BBC World, not BBC America, BBC World with a grain of salt, even BBC world. Let's find some other news that we can read and then turn this shit off. Mm-hmm. He's popular because we're telling news media, this is what we want. We want to see Rachel Maddow talk about him for hours.
Yes.
The ratings are high.
That's right.
So maybe we need to ask ourselves, hey, because I'm sorry, tweeting about the hysterectomies is not the same as going on a fucking news channel, AOC, or any of these goddamn congressmen.
Yes.
I'm holding everybody accountable.
All of 8 seconds and boom, you're done.
That's right.
Going to Rachel Maddow, going on these channels and having a fucking conversation about it. And then guess what? We need to go watch it. We need to put these ratings up to show the network. This is what we want to fucking see.
You're right. Right. He makes some money. And the same thing that is happening now, that he doesn't need to have TV ads.
Because
he's not his own breaking news. He is the news. Why should he buy it?
Just like when he ran for president, he didn't have a campaign staff because he didn't need one.
He didn't need it.
Because what do you need one for when they're talking about you for free? All day long.
And this is where I have to sit back and I have to look again at the Biden campaign. And there's the part, so again, the media literacy, the Dr. Coleman, the person who does digital marketing for a living, understands being caught between a rock and a hard place, but I'm also a little frustrated too, because it's hard. How do you beat that? That shit's, how do you beat the free, I'm going to try to talk about something, but then within 10 seconds, you're going to cover him anyway. But then I need to see you doing more digital. I need you to pump that, whatever we got to do, whatever we got to funnel. We got to get our game together. We really do. And now we're just on the line.
I don't want to sound pessimistic, but maybe it's something you can't beat because we're sensationalized right now.
Yep.
And if Biden gets elected, his 4 years are still going to be dominated by Trump stories.
Yep.
Because that's still going to sell, and he's still going to be big mouth, and they're still going to give him a platform. And then, Joe did what? What about
he's going to have to spend all 4 of those years just attempting to
try to stop the bleeding.
I mean, this person has come and like with a knife just gutted the nation financially, emotionally, spiritually. People, I have a friend who's a pharmacist. He says he always had people come in who were getting antidepressants. But since Trump has been in office, there's been a huge spike. Mm-hmm. Number of people who go in for antidepressants. Michelle Obama says she was low-grade depressed. I know the first 2 years he was in office, I was so angry that I'm surprised Twitter let me stay on there as long as they did. Today, I was calling them a bunch of punk, faggot, bitch motherfuckers. And my friends were saying, girl, we thinking the men in black are going to come get you. I said, this is America. It's freedom of speech, And then you have to think, maybe this, like you said, Adrian, it's nothing new. This is who America has always been. The perpetrators have come out of the rocks. He gave them a voice so that these folks show up with assault rifles and ready to rumble because they really think this country is just for them.
I wish I could show you this picture.
In the country.
2 things real quick. Johnny, you're not being pessimistic when you're saying maybe there's nothing that can be done. I've been asking myself this question. I actually just was doing some paperwork for a program and asking, where do we go from here? Where does news media go from here? And I cannot, for the life of me, from a personal level and from an academic level, come up with the answer. So you're not being pessimistic. You're just stating the reality of what's going on. Jace, to your point, funny, when you're talking about, they're going out with their guns, they're becoming emboldened. Some of this shit's starting to backfire. I have another kind of sort of funny story, and I wish I could put my phone up to the camera so you could see it, or you can see it. So in Bakersfield, anybody who's been to Bakersfield, California, I don't mean to dismiss.
Yes, I know Bakersfield.
It tends to be the armpit of hell.
Yes.
Trump country, big Trump country. So I have a really good friend. I call him my twin. He's from Bakersfield, and he watches the news. So apparently these two yahoos, two Trump supporters, turned on each other and shot each other. So they both have assault rifles. How they're both not dead, I don't understand, because you're shooting each other with assault rifles. But
actually aim, they just know how to shoot.
Okay, then that you answered the question. Not only that, somehow one of the dudes he has an American flag, not just a small flag, like a multiple feet flag hanging from his assault rifle. Somehow, in the middle of the fracas, he gets the American flag wrapped around him, chokes himself out with the flag. So as he's continuing to shoot, it's misfiring and it's shooting up in the air. The bullets cascade down. Two other people got wounded in the altercation, but we don't know what these motherfuckers was fighting about. And I wish I could show you the picture, because the picture is,
oh my gosh,
of them like getting ready to go. There's part of the fight, and then the end is this dude with his rifle in the air and that American flag around. I'm like, dude, you choked yourself out with your own gun and flag.
I ain't gonna say this, but I'm gonna say this. I think I ain't gonna blame it on the Lord, but I'm gonna blame it on the Lord. That was probably him choking you to death with your own American.
Like, tapped out. You motherfuckers is so stupid. I need to end this.
You got choked with your freedom
before you kill a bunch of innocent people with y'all dumbasses.
Right.
So they're starting to turn on each other, and I think that's. I didn't mean to laugh, but I found some of that refreshing.
Well, it is kind of like hilarious, because it's almost like a jackass segment, when that show was on the air. I mean, with the people with the boats, because on YouTube, I don't know how many of you have seen it. He's always talking about, yeah, we got the Trump boat shows. I'm seeing them. I used to see them on the weekends, but I'm seeing them every day, and they show pictures of these boats barreling through the water, and how many of them sank?
In Texas a couple weeks ago, right?
Right.
Yeah, all of them. I think there's like.
I got a good old kiki out of that. I really did.
I did too.
In the lab, but I did because that was all stupid.
I did too.
We talked about it on that, because that was your inaugural show. We talked about that.
Was my debut. We talked about that. So, I mean, you
exactly, Sharon, winner of the Darwin Awards.
Yeah.
You just have to find.
Laugh when you can.
We're up here like laughing about somebody's untimely demise, but you almost just have a difficult time being sympathetic with someone that's so ignorant. I mean,
I have a hard time.
We can't judge a person's soul, but we can judge their actions. That is something we are allowed to do. Mm-hmm. And so when you do stupid shit, you get stupid shit results. And so we get to now laugh at stupid shit results because of the stupid shit you just fucking did.
Because you didn't shoot the dude you got into the altercation with. You shot innocent people as your gun was misfiring because you choked yourself with your own motherfucking flag that's attached to your AK-47.
Like,
yeah, the bigger the flag, the more patriotic you are.
And the smaller your dick is.
Until America tries to choke you out in the middle of a gun.
Johnny, you're right, though. I think that was God. God was like, tap out.
Yes. Yeah. We're going to end, because he could have shot even more bullets and hurt even more people.
So he had to be stopped. Somebody is talking about the former aide for Pence, says Trump said in the Corona Task Force meeting that he's glad for the virus.
Because he doesn't have to shake hands with those disgusting people.
Hands. Okay. All right. going on with Mother Pence and her bitch?
That girl been quiet. That girl been creepily quiet. I don't trust there's two things I don't trust in this world, and I know I'm going to hell for saying this. A motherfucker from the ATL at Magic City after they hit 2 blunts and drank some malt liquor. I'm sorry. I don't trust that person because, as Outkast says, when he took off his shirt and he said, "Who else want to fuck with Hollywood Court?" That's what you're gonna get with that type of person. I also don't trust a messy queen, a queen that's pissed off. I don't trust a pissed off sissy, and I don't trust a quiet sissy either. And that's Mike Pence.
That's Mike Pence. He's a quiet.
He's pissed because he's known. What do you mean he's not out? I was supposed to be president by now.
Right. I told you.
Quiet. I don't trust that shit.
He and Mother are sticking pins in an image doll saying this motherfucker just won't die. They're back in the back room with an image doll sticking him deep with pins.
I don't trust that motherfucker from the ATL after all them blunts and that malt liquor in the Magic City parking lot.
Right.
And I don't trust a messy,
blunt,
quiet queen because she's about to make your life fucking hell.
Michael Penitentiary. I told y'all he is very hunting camp. I said this a million times.
Mm-hmm, you have.
His task force lady, listen, like, I'm glad that you are speaking out and you're doing your thing, but get somewhere and sit down.
Yeah, exactly.
You took that job from that mother sucker and you enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
You saying Trump has no regard for human life. He never had regard for human life. Why did you quit now?
Yeah.
You might as well ride these last little few months, get these last $12, and then go take your ass somewhere down to the unemployment office when all that's what you should have did. But no, he has no regard for human life. Neither did you. If you stood by this sucker and said, "Hey, that's okay," I mean, you know.
I just saw what was happening. I just had to come out and I just had to say something.
Johnny, I was going to ask, Johnny and Jace, did you hear her reason why she's decided to come forward?
No, what was the reason? Outside of Trump had no regard for human life, I see her said that part, but
she had this whole like come to Jesus moment, and she was looking at herself in the mirror, and she's like, I'm on the precipice of being able to look at myself and doing my job, and I finally just sat down and said I just couldn't take it anymore. So I walked away from it was such a hard decision, but I had to stand for truth. Bitch, come on.
You've been there for
tiny fucking violin. You were in his task force for a while, and you were a previous aide before that. They didn't just pluck you up out of nowhere. They didn't come pluck you up from the Vry, bitch. Come on.
She sounds to me like she's trying to redeem herself so she can get a job afterwards.
I've been a lifelong Republican.
Anybody working in that administration is going to have a tough time finding gainful employment.
What you're trying to do is make sure you come out smelling like roses so you can get a job in the future. Suck my dick. I see.
That's right. When
I'm gonna be a little piece of fair, just a little piece, because if the child say, well, actually she didn't say, but if she does say that she needs some sort of clarity and forgiveness, then fine, because I can't judge your soul. I can judge your actions though. So fine, okay, but don't ever expect me to look at you as a person who has been redeemed.
Right.
As a human being, I am very petty. I have a cape in this closet right here. I have a cape in here. That way I can be super petty.
Yeah. And
so when I put that cape on, please understand that I will never look at you as a redeemed person. Because I don't care how many times you looked in the mirror, you never did look in the mirror and say, I'm not going to work for these people today. You went day after day after day. When we get down to this election, maybe somebody paid you a little grease from the Democratic Party and said, hey, say something crazy. But maybe they didn't. I don't know. I ain't going to judge your soul. But what I am going to say is you went to work and you was fine going to work with people who were fine with people dying. He said, if I have 100,000 people dead, then that's okay. That's a success.
That's okay.
And you stood by these people who let that dumb fuck shit fall out of his mouth, talking about of 100,000 people. Those 100,000 people belong to somebody.
Yep,
that's right.
That's somebody, mama, granny, and whoever else. That's somebody's family.
Those are people who died.
You went to work for these people.
The people who are sick, who have PTSD.
Right.
Guys, can I do some breaking news real quick? Because I got a text message from one of my sisters.
Sure.
So, NBC News reported that there was a letter sent to the White House containing the deadly poison. I always mispronounce this word. Ricin, R-I-C-I-N, and it was intercepted. So they tried to, and it was sent, and they're listen. I'm not.
Don't try to kill the man, because I think
well, you know whose MO that is.
We don't need him dead.
That's
Pootie Booties. They like license. They like it.
I smell bum, and I smell. I smell bum and
Let his ass out. Because see, here's my thing, and this is why I always sort of err on the side of I'm not going to wish harm on him, because if we get somebody in there we do like, we don't need this kind of shit going on.
Yep,
that's right.
Donald Trump ain't worth it.
Also, don't want him to die a martyr.
That was just what I was thinking. I don't want him to be a martyr.
I mean, he is kind of worth it, but I don't want you to make him a martyr.
Yeah, he's not worth it.
That just.
A love note from Putin. I'm telling you.
Love note from Putin. I smell Putin.
And when he get out,
hey,
he's a private citizen.
But look here.
Well, do you want to think that he will that somehow
that was true,
presidency will be declared illegitimate?
They've never done it. I don't expect them to do it now.
Okay.
And I just like the whole prosecuting or indicting a sitting president. They've never done it, so they weren't going to do it now. Mm-hmm. I don't think they've ever illegitimized somebody's presidency, and even though it is,
even if there was proof that it was stolen, you just think they just let it lay?
I think they will.
You know, that is enough to make you blow a gasket. You know, you get a parking ticket, you gotta pay. And don't dare have a little wine on your breath, because then you got a DUI, which is a criminal offense, and you have to go to traffic court and counseling and shit, And this man and administration have fleeced the American people. He's robbing us any which way he can. He's robbing us. They have, I think Mnuchin and them have moved so much money around so that he can get a piece of it. I'd like to see something happen to Mnuchin. Isn't that awful? I'd like to see somebody just just check in on Steve Mnuchin. See what his deal is. I see he's got some trouble coming down the road for some reason. I think he's going to be in a hole. He's one of the fall guys. I really think they're putting him out front. I really think his ass is going to become one of the fall guys.
I think Steve Mnuchin.
I don't think so.
Has padded way too many people's pocket.
I don't think he's gonna. No, I'm with Johnny.
You don't think he's gonna get ratted out?
No.
I did a reading on him. I think there might be some sort of semblance of court, but he's padded way too many people. Yeah, but he's padded way too many.
He's helped out too. He's made too many people rich. He's let too many other people slide with some shit. So they're going to return that favor, whether they like him or not. That's completely irrelevant.
So that's proprietary information without money, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I get Green Man and King. This is support This is the man.
Yeah.
Reckless actions, but they're not really so reckless. So this could be because he knows what he's doing. The spirit, this is unseen forces watch over you.
Mm.
And then you get the greed with this is like the devil card in this thing. This is the greed card. He's kind of like Bar. He'll fix what you need him to fix, and then he'll stay out of trouble. And so Minutia will pad your pocket, and you'll stay out of trouble. I think that is the only way these insider trader peoples are not in jail now.
Yep. Oh, you mean Leffler and Purdue?
All them bitches.
All them bitches. Yeah, they all made money off the people's misery.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud to be an American. Damn. Well, a little bit. We've been very serious.
He's guarding his home, his assets, his finances. He's a person who says what he's going to say, just enough of what needs to be said, how it needs to be said. He's very guarded of who he talks to and what he says. He's also guarded of who he loves and who he trusts, who he keeps in his inner circle, which is why he may be a person with a lot of acquaintances, but very few people who he loves and who loves him, because he's guarded. He's always trying to protect himself, stay ahead. Say 3 to 4 steps ahead. And why is that? Because he's always using his intuition, that third eye.
Really?
To kind of see, to make sure he can stay a couple steps ahead.
Really?
Some of the people that worked with him were Democrats.
Yep.
Well, Paul Krugman says if Steve Mnuchin is the only one in the room making some sense, we're in a whole lot of trouble.
We real fucked up.
We real fucked up.
Coalition. Oh, he worked very close with Nancy Pelosi. He's in with the corporate Democrats.
Yeah, he says, well, let's not put a dollar amount on it. Let's just.
He's very guarded.
Yeah, he's got a young wife who used to live in a palace or something. She's some sort of.
She looks creepy.
Low budget. Well, she's some sort of royalty, but not like high up on the rung of anything. You know what I mean? She reminds me of this woman I knew who had the lady attached to her name, and she was so grand and broke as shit. She didn't have a dime. But this chick I think she comes from a little money, and I'm sure that the reason she married him, how women marry men and get with men because they have some money or a promising future.
She just seems to me like the kind of woman that does surgery in her basement, and she's not a doctor.
People fix a flat booties.
She looks like she got a scalpel and she just go down people and she got them all out and everything. Like she got some of that Dr. Murray juice and she put you right on out, and then she cut you, and then she got a smile on her face. She got you all stuff. She didn't take nothing out. She just wanted to cut you while you was on. That's what she looked like to me.
Just because she gets a kick out of seeing you.
She looked good and crazy, as we used to say back in the day.
Johnny says she be giving people fix of flat booties in her
Barry Atkins calls her lady broke ass, but remember how proud they were when he signed his name on the money.
And they had to go take a chartered plane to go over there.
They got in trouble for
look
that.
At the gold and all that.
Yeah, they got in trouble for that. Why are we paying for them to do these things? Why are we paying?
Meanwhile, where is Harriet Tubman? He was supposed to be on the plane a long time ago.
They said, I thought they voted against her.
He said it's going to take a while because they need to make sure it's not going to be counterfeit.
Because no, it's because Trump.
I thought they renamed
can't have a black woman. He wants his face on the money.
Yeah, you have to die first, Trump. So I mean,
yeah. Well, they sending ricin up there to the White House. There could be a rice.
I use the $3 bill with your face on it.
Okay.
No, he's good and well he's not gonna have a black woman. He doesn't. He probably say, oh, she looks like a man. He nothing kind to say.
He probably doesn't even know she existed.
No,
but he's done more for us than Abraham Lincoln.
He's done more for the blacks for the African Americans than any president ever.
That's African Americans.
Oh Lord.
It's Abraham Lincoln. And I'm trying to figure out what you talking out of both sides of your mouth. You and your blacks. I tell you, if they had been on the slave trip with Harriet Tubman, she would have shot the shit out of every last one of them at the RNC. They would have had to be.
It's killed. Another one. I mean, I don't mean to be petty, but it's one more.
This is what we're having a petty party.
The girl, little girl, the woman, to be slightly respectful, Kim. I don't know how to say her name. I'm gonna say Classic.
Okay.
Classic. Kim Classic. She is running for Elijah Cummings' seat when they filled it with.
You mean you talking about Angela Stanton?
No. This one, her name is Kim Classic. She's a black GOPer. Mm-hmm. She's a black GOPer.
Up in Baltimore.
On top of that. It's like.
Oh, that's Elijah Cummings. I'm thinking about John Lewis. Okay.
I'm thinking, first of all, you're a double minority. Mm-hmm. So you ain't got no business with a GOP, nothing. But and third of all, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. And she going around and she talking to every woman that she can talk to. She was on The View and they was arguing back and forth over there, and then she went to somewhere else and they was arguing back. So she now has that black woman warrior thing going on for the GOP. And so I can't.
I can't either. I
won't and can't.
Yeah, I don't get it.
I'm not trying to tell you who to be, but as a double minority, you ain't got no business hanging out with them people.
Well, that's all I need to know. Llama says Rush Limbaugh loves her, so done and done.
Who loves her?
Rush Limbaugh.
He loves her? Oh, he's talking good about her? They're only as good as when they're eating the corn out of Trump's boo-boo. They're only as good as long as they're doing that. Time they say something that he doesn't agree with or something, they'll be diamond and silk.
Yeah.
You lose all your credibility, and then you can't come to the cookouts because nobody wants you around.
Nobody wants you.
They're going to start to black out their skin, and as soon as they do, they're going to be done.
Yeah, you have served your purpose.
That's a shame.
It's not a shame. I'm just like, y'all, come on now. I have a question. Is everybody, first of all, everybody's registered to vote, right? Everybody's y'all registered to vote. Have you submitted your applications already to vote by mail? Because remember that has to be done.
It has to be done by now. Everybody.
Also, have you encouraged others to vote? Don't even start off with, are you going to vote Democrat? Just, are you going to vote? Please vote and encourage people to vote. Third, and there was 3. So let me go to number 4. Have you talked to the children? Have you checked in on the kids? Are you going and helping these 18-year-olds register to
vote? Yes. Important.
Please go help these children register to vote. The deadline is like in the next week or something like that, because they have to be fully registered on board.
Registration is October 19th.
October 19th.
Update anything. So check everything because you only have a month.
Please and thank you, Johnny. And number 5, have you checked your status lately?
Child, they know me so well down in the voter registration office. Just say, hey, girl, I call just about every couple of weeks to make sure that stuff is tight.
What we can't do, because one thing I love about the tarot YouTube community is that we've got a bunch of like-minded people, and we're all up here and we're like, this is fuck shit, blah, blah, blah. But what are we doing outside of that? Let's make sure we're putting our money where our bitching is. Let's put our actions where our bitching is. We can complain to each other, and that's fine, but that falls on deaf ears. We need to take action. So please I understand you may not be able to go and physically knock on doors. Go and you can vote to be a surrogate and call people.
Yes.
You don't have to call people. You can text the motherfuckers.
Now they have.
I'm make sure people are registered to vote. Please.
Yes.
That. And
I'm going to do some canvassing, and you can actually get phone numbers where you can phone bank from home. Move on.
I've always been able to phone bank from home. I used to do it years ago. I did it in the Obama campaign. I phone bank from home.
That's right. They have several organizations, moveon.org. I can't think, I'm going to try to remember some of the others, but just check out, call whatever your candidate is, ask what you can do to help.
So let's say you don't like talking on the phone. That's like me. Say you don't like to text, because I will straight look at a text message and in my mind I'll reply to it. But physically I didn't do it. And then 3 days later, I'm mad at you because you didn't reply to my. I didn't reply. So let's say you're not one of those people. Are you going to go vote in person?
I am.
I'm with you.
So let's go do this. As you're going to vote, talk to Ray Ray and Nuck Nuck and Bobo and Jonathan. Hey, you guys, I'm going to go vote. You guys want to ride with me? Put your masks on, but let's go ride out. Let's go vote.
Take you a chair.
Let's take a chair.
Forever.
At some polling stations here, they will have chairs, they will have water, and they will have snacks.
Take people with you to
Take people with you. This is serious.
Fully charged phone.
We were just saying earlier, I was spouting out some numbers. I am not somebody who can always give a big lump sum of money, but God damn it, you'd be amazed what $5, $3, $2 can do.
That's what funded Bernie Sanders.
Somebody running in a local race that could make a huge difference. Prime example. Facebook advertising. You can get up to 1,900 people with $3 fucking dollars. You can get 1,900 accounts for $3 for 30 days.
Yeah.
See, your dollar makes a difference. That's huge for a local candidate. Whatever you can do, find ways. Right. What's this going to do is going to raise your vibration. It raises our vibration. And it also helps ensure that we're not stuck in this, I'm going to bitch, complain, moan, and groan, and get on YouTube and ask readers to read on the same shit. We're doing that. We're here to help you, but you also have to help.
You have to do the work.
And I don't mean to preach at you. That's not what I'm trying to do.
It's all right, because it's true. We are less than 45 days or something.
4 days. I'm trying to
be very proactive. We shouldn't be joining the chorus of complainers. If you're angry about something, then go do something. Anger can be a wonderful motivator. If you mad at this madman that's in the White House, and do something, because we can do something. Every opportunity I get, I'm asking young people, especially when you take Ubers and Lyfts, because a lot of them are young. You ask them if they're registered, and if they're not, talk to them about being registered, and not to do no dumb shit like vote for Kanye. Okay, that's not cute. That's not clever. This is far too important for you all to think it's cute. It's not cute. It's not cute at all. So,
Johnny and Jace, what's y'all's election day song? What song are you going to play as you are getting to the whether you're doing your mail-in ballot or you going to get to the polls? What song are you playing?
I think I'm going to James Brown. Get up.
Get on up.
Get up. Get on up. Stay on the seat. Get on up.
Show it. That's what I hear when I hear James Brown.
It's a song called Into the Darkness. And it's into the darkness we are one. Into the darkness we all must fight. To bring the light. Everybody has a part that they have to play.
Yes, indeed.
I understand, like I said, and there was another live stream, voting's not fun. It's inconvenient. Long ass lines, probably hot some places. And okay, but think in your mind, all the while you want to complain, think in the mind at some point during these 4 years, there is a woman who got a forced hysterectomy
Yep.
Yeah.
Someone who lost their child through kidnapping.
Yeah.
We can't do that another 4 years.
There are children who are having to be forced to go to school in public during a pandemic, all because we don't have guidance and leadership from the top down.
And the reason I brought that up is because no matter how many times I say no, every single Sunday, what about the kids at the border? Somebody wants to know about the kids. You don't need to keep hearing that because it's already in here. It's already worrying on your mind. Take that to the voting poll.
Exactly.
And I told you a long time ago, the King of Cups is the card that I get that says, this is your solution. You want a solution to it? King of Cups. Who's the King of Cups? That's Joe Biden. If you want something to happen, then go vote for his ass. If you don't care, then I don't care.
Yes. And cease looking for perfection.
Yes.
In the fence, just cease looking for perfection. At least we stand a shot of healing the country. At least we stand a shot against them. Once you vote somebody in, then you can keep their feet to the fire because the work won't be done just because Biden and Harris get in the White House. That's
a lot of work.
Begins.
They got a good 16 years before they get back to where we used to be.
And I don't want to hear out of nobody's mouth them first couple months. Well, they haven't done. You have to understand they are fixing. They're trying to stop.
Days. They haven't done anything.
This makes what George Bush left us in like meltdown when he left office. Obama came in with a show enough mess,
Every time somebody says
like time,
this looks out. That person that journalist overseas that threw those shoes at him.
Right, and he does.
He got some good reflexes. So.
I was like, Laura has thrown some shoes at that motherfucker before because he's had a shoe flung at him before.
He moves smooth.
Yeah.
That was smooth.
Well, we have been on for 2.5 hours, and I would like for each of you to pull something, encourage everybody. I want to thank everyone who came on tonight. Just a word, a thought, what the cards may be saying to keep everybody. I want you to stay ready. I want, if all you can think, if your motivation is the fact that Ruth Ginsburg is gone,
we ready. You're
mad enough to get it to do something about it.
We ready. By the way, my poll song is Nuck If You Buck.
Or then maybe, I don't know, maybe I want to change mine to Edgar Winter Group Frankenstein. Kick-ass tune. Yeah, and I need something to kick my ass, kick ass, get people excited. Yeah.
I haven't. Okay,
so road jack is going to be very prevalent. Hit the road jack.
Yeah, that's going to be
road jack. Oh, yeah. Just visualize and envision him, Biden and Harris. Just think how happy we'll be. Votes are announced, and we are dancing in the street and waiting. Just relieved. I think people are going to just be tired.
I'm also hearing NSYNC's Bye Bye Bye. Oh, bye bye bye.
Yeah.
I actually picked a card instead of doing a spread.
Yeah, I picked a card too.
Because I have a message.
Okay.
So the 7 of Wands. This is what they call the defending your ideas and your ideals, getting to the higher ground. But there's something a little deeper I want you to look at. And that is this person, one single person with one single stick, one single wand, is defending against 6 others. It is going to always look, especially when all you ever hear and all you ever see is what's against you. Yep. It is going to always look like the odds are stacked against you. Oh my God, the male And oh my God, Russia is meddling. And oh my God, the this and that. Is going to always look that way. But there is a reason you can't see anybody in this card other than him. It's because these threats are actually irrelevant.
Mm-hmm.
You have the higher ground. You are right. All you have to do is stand in that rightness. And can continue to defend those ideas. These people are irrelevant. You will always have haters. They say Jesus was perfect and he still had haters too.
Yeah, haters.
You will always have opposition. Life is full of that. It's called life. It happens to everybody. It's not the devil. It's just life. You will always have a hard time. Somebody will always come against you. You can say, oh, I want to spread sunshine and rainbows. And somebody was like, well, what if they don't like rainbows? Okay, then bitch, eat Skittles. Then I don't tell you, but somebody will always have something crazy to say, but they are irrelevant. That's why they're not in the picture. They're in the cutout part. They're in the trash. They're in the shredder. They are the extras. You are the star. Make sure that you use your power. Come November, all Republicans vote on November 4th. That is what I heard. So spread the message.
Amen. Thank you, Johnny.
That's good. I have a story, not as powerful, not as poignant as when I something. When I woke up this morning, I woke up several times because God bless my insomnia. So the first time I woke up, I felt great. Like I just felt like brand new woman, great day. I fell asleep and I woke up again. I was like, oh, I got a couple things I need to do today, you know. Then when I woke up the third time, I said, God damn it, Ruthie's dead. And I literally felt battle weary. I felt like I had been fighting. And then I heard in my ear, no, sweetie, the fight's just begun. You got to keep fighting. Yeah. And I felt the feeling I felt as an empath. It felt like it was just like I had been to 2 battles. And Johnny, that card when you by yourself and all you see is the swords and you're trying to fight. That's how I felt. It just felt so fucking heavy. And then I picked up my phone and I saw just continuing to see all the beautiful people putting all these beautiful posts to RBG. I watched C-SPAN did an amazing, her last interview she did almost end of last year. 8,000 people in the room, and she's just laughing, and she was telling a story about why she was named the Notorious RBG, and she's like, because hello from Notorious B.I.G. Like, what do you guys have in common? She's like, it's obvious, and everybody's like, what? And she was like, we're both born and raised in Brooklyn. Hello. And I thought about it for a moment, and I looked at all those people in the room. And I said, I have to let this go. This is not my fight to fight alone. Look at all these people who feel just as I do. Who are now literally gutted. Oh my God, what are we going to do? And I reminded myself, I'm not alone. I can't carry the world's burden on my shoulder. I had to breathe and release and let it go because I'm not alone. Just as there are Republicans who are going to vote whatever, there are us, and we're fighting. And I started reading how much money people are donating now to make sure we get out of this. We're not alone. And it doesn't surprise me that I pulled the 5 of Pentacles that says, I am supported and never alone.
That's right.
Remember that over these next couple days, as you are supported and you're never alone, reach out to people, help them, make sure they're registered to vote, because so they know that they are supported and they're never alone.
Amen.
I said all of that we have to charge with community right now. The divide and conquer frequency is fucking for real.
Yeah.
It's a political that should never be political. A fucking virus should not be political.
Yeah.
But it is. Keeping babies home so they don't get sick and then come home to be sick shouldn't be political. Forcing women to have hysterectomies should not be political, but it is.
Yeah.
And we got to build community right now. That's the only way we're going to make this change, is remember that you're never alone. Make sure that you, whatever way you can reach out and contribute, you can. while you visualize the change that you want. Because you're never alone. There are other people who want this change too. We just got to remember that we're not alone.
We are millions of points of life. All I can say is amen to Adrian and Johnny, and just touch and agree. We collectively are a million points of life. We are our brother's keeper and our sister's keeper in this situation. We must make sure, just talk to as many people as you can. Find out if they're registered. If they're not, help them get registered. Whatever you can do, if you can take people to the polls with you. Sometimes people are stymied by not having transportation. If somebody wants to go drop their ballots off at a polling place, get them in the car, because you can't go and do a bunch of them unless you be called or thought to be doing something illegal. We have to do this, and we can do it together. This is a one time when this whole catchphrase that we are in this together is much, much more than a catchphrase. It is the truth. It is the truth. And if Joe Biden says he's fighting for the heart and soul of the nation, and we should be committed to doing the same. And then once the change has come, roll up your sleeves and continue to work, because we have a lot of surgery to do. We won't be able to put Band-Aids over what has happened these last 4 years. Do your best not to get caught up in the bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
You know that when you think he's gone as low as he can go, he can dig another 6 feet.
He goes lower.
He goes lower. Don't get too caught up with that shit. Keep on doing what you can do. Make sure your registration is tight. Get the family. This is the most serious. I mean, who would have thought even 4 years ago that we would be here in this position right now?
I kind of did.
You did?
I saw it. And everybody thought I was crazy. Everybody thought I was insane. And I have to, this is real. I can't believe I'm gonna say this. I actually thought in ways it'd be a little worse off, which makes me believe that there may be some stuff we have not found out about that will come out.
We probably should have been if he was more capable of doing so.
I really thought we were going to be a little bit worse shape, but we're not in good shape.
We're not in good shape, no.
I need everybody to understand, keep your head on a swivel. I love that we have this community because we are of like minds and we're sharing and we're helping each other, but we have to make sure that you can visualize him leaving, but that doesn't do any good unless you vote.
Unless you act.
People to take the action. And that's
right.
That's all I ask.
Me too. Well, I think we all agree with touching and agreeing. We have to do the work. Yeah. I want to thank everyone who came on tonight. We'll be back October 3rd. That's when Librans start digging in, baby. That's the real party time.
Yes.
You'll be hearing from me throughout the week, but I'm just so tickled that you all came on. Perhaps our next discussion, we can share a little bit about Black church and religion. I'm so glad Jesus lived. I'm so glad Jesus lived.
See, that's not that's a choir song. That's not a solo song. You know, the solo song, you got to riff at least for 3 minutes before you get past the first word.
Well, I just want to thank everybody. We have this is so organic that it's almost scary sometimes. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. So we'll see you all on
The third, right?
3rd, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It might be back daylight time. We might have come back by then. It's Eastern Time. I thank Johnny and Adrian, my beautiful co-hosts and buddies who've encouraged me and who come on to have a little fun. And you all have a great night. Enjoy your Sunday and stay as close to sweet love as you can. Okay? Good night.
I was about to hit